Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
And a good morning to you. It is time for Coffee Ann on ON, AM, and FM. Tuesday morning, it's April 9th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan, and we'll say good morning to Linda Thibault. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning.
And Ed Carew from the Carew Investment Group. Hi, Ed.
Hello there.
Nice to have you both with us. And right now, it is time for a first message from the Carew Investment Group. What's going on over there, Ed?
I don't know.
Don't know? Oh, okay.
I haven't been yet.
Because you're here. So
I'm here.
It's real quiet over there right now.
Is this one of your conspiracy theories?
No.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Everything good, though, right?
I'll tell you. Yeah.
I'm okay this week.
Last
week I was
in rough shape. Integrity, trust, service. 3 words that sum up what you can expect from the Carew Investment Group at 68 Cumberland Street in Woonsocket. Established in 1987, we've been helping local investors to build wealth and guide them through their golden years of retirement using quality stocks of companies that you know, many of which pay quarterly dividends. We also use investment-grade bonds and low-cost exchange-traded funds. And to find out more about our services and for a quality conservative approach to investing, give us a call at 765-8880. You can call me or Paul. Integrity, trust, service, the Carew Investment Group. Securities offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
All right, Ed, thank you very much. Well, yesterday it was the big eclipse day, and I don't know how I did this. I was outside between 3 and
You were?
yesterday. Yep.
Did you have your glasses on?
No glass. I don't want to look at it.
Oh, okay.
I'm all set there, but I wanted to be outside when it got a little darker, and it never got darker. I kept waiting for it. I go, well, when? I figured it'd be like cloudy, and nothing ever happened. I'm like, how did I miss it? Unless it was before then. Should I have been out between 2:30 and 3?
It was a little darker because
I missed it.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like what you
Oh.
saw on TV or on the NASA thing, but
Yeah.
it was. It did get darker.
So you were watching the whole thing on TV yesterday?
I was. It was awesome.
Pretty cool to see.
Yes, it was.
I watched all the news reports and
Yeah.
all the people cheering.
It was.
when it
Well, you
took
know,
place.
it
That
was
that was
amazing.
cool.
It was amazing to watch. Well, first the event itself was like awesome, but to watch the people.
And
to
the
watch
reaction,
the
yeah.
people and their reaction, and then at one point, everybody it was huge crowds, and there was silence.
Yeah.
It was like you heard that, but then all of a sudden it was peace, and I thought that was a little like,
Eerie or-
yeah, a little bit eerie. I think the reaction of people, even like the big anchors, the big
Yeah.
news anchors like Nora O'Donnell, she was like
In
a
awe.
kid,
Yeah,
and she
yeah.
was like a kid. Oh my God, look. Yeah, it was awesome to see, and I take back what I said last week when I said it was interesting, but I wasn't excited, and I could
Okay.
see why they were all
They were all
excited and
exci-
why
okay,
they all
okay.
went to great lengths to be there.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, Ed, you watched the feed from NASA on your,
Yeah,
on
I
your
had,
computer?
NASA feed on 2 computers.
Wow.
2 different feeds that they were showing. They probably had multiple feeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was watching 2 of them, and I had it on a TV with
Yeah.
the volume low on the TV. I didn't want to hear those guys.
Yeah.
Did
I
NASA provide?
I prefer to hear what NASA had
Yeah,
to
I
say.
know.
Oh, so they had commentary from the scientists and what was
Yeah,
going on?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, some scientists, and then they had some people that were just, like probably anchors that were
Yeah.
giving play-by-play.
Yeah.
Hey, here it comes.
And it was exact, huh, Ed?
Oh yeah,
It was.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't like you wait. It's supposed to start at this. It was a science. They were down.
They had it right
Oh,
down
yeah.
to
Right
the
down to
second.
the
Seconds.
second, and
Right
how
down.
long it would last.
They actually
and
had a countdown
A
on the
clock?
NASA
Yeah,
feed, and
yeah.
it was to the second.
second.
Wow.
You know, and I showed you. I took some pictures
Yeah,
of the NASA feed,
Awesome.
and on one of the NASA feeds that I was using, you could put in your zip code, and it showed when the exact time that the darkest point would be wherever you were.
So I should have done that. That's how I missed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And it also had the path going across the U.S.
Yep.
And it was moving. You
Yeah.
know, it was moving along, and so I had that was on one screen, and then the other screen had the live shot of where the full total eclipse was.
Totality.
Totality.
The new
it was
word
good.
there.
I like.
Yeah.
I love NASA's
That
here.
stuff. Okay,
No, that
that's
was-
really cool.
What we were saying
NASA.com.
earlier, applied mathematics.
Yes.
Applied mathematics.
And how they know in 24 years where it's going to happen
yeah.
again over the
Isn't that
United
something?
States.
But
Down to the, well, right now down to the month of that
yeah,
year.
for those kids that were, those teachers that sort of that the classes were out there and they had the glasses on and
Yeah.
everything. What a learning experience for those
Yeah.
kids, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Just amazing.
I did see a funny sign that was posted yesterday. I think it was at a Dairy Queen that said it's not the apocalypse, it's an eclipse.
Right, exactly.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah,
Everything's
well,
gonna be
no.
fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't worry about it. What I also saw in the news yesterday is I don't know if you saw it, but the amount of the traffic in New Hampshire, going up 93. Wow. And so it got to the point where, well, we're not going to make it to where we're going, so everyone just started pulling over to the side of the road because the eclipse was starting.
Yeah.
So, okay, this is where we're watching it. And they just got out of their car and pulled over, got out, sat on
they
the
put
hood of
the
the car
glasses
and
on.
put the glasses on and just
Yeah.
looked up.
Yeah, it was
And then they all did a U-turn. Now we're going to head back.
Yeah, one of the things they did too on regular TV, not on NASA's place, but they said that when it did reach totality,
Yep.
the animals, like
Oh,
the
yeah,
birds were
they
singing,
thought it
they
was
didn't know
nighttime.
what was going on.
So they stopped singing?
They stopped. Yeah, everything, and they
Well, it
also
must be
did-
nighttime.
it showed that you could see like the planets and the star. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You
Yeah,
probably see them
and
a
they
lot
had an
better.
astronomer there. They're saying this one's that. There's
Oh, yeah,
Jupiter.
okay.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was. I thought that was pretty interesting.
All right, so everything went well yesterday. Now the funny thing, Linda, is this. Now this is after the eclipse happened. Google announced that the amount of people that typed into the Google search was "Why are my eyes hurting?"
No.
It's the people that looked at the eclipse without the glasses.
What has they been telling you?
I know, for 2 months
for
at least.
2 months.
Well, people looked at it anyway,
Well, of course.
without the glasses. So that's what people were Googling. Why do my eyes hurt?
Oh my. What, they been under a rock?
Some people just think, probably.
Well, not me. That won't happen to me.
Right. I'm young. I'm tough.
I'm tough.
I'll just squint. Everything will be fine. Or
You forgot the I'm stupid.
I'm stupid. There you go.
No,
I brought my
I'm smart, Ed. I got my $1.25 sunglasses from the Dollar General store.
Yeah, the dollar. I'm
Everything's gonna
good
be
to
fine.
go. I'm good to go. I mean, I wouldn't let my dog be outside. My little Nellie Sunshine, I had her in the house because she likes to look at the sun.
Now, can their eyes be repaired? If
Not if they've got a. Well, what I've heard from the people that know
Yeah.
that if it depends
You
on the
burn
amount
your
of
retina.
damage.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you burn your retina. I mean, it's just like burning. You get a sunburn, but
Yeah.
it can get better. But the retina, not so much.
really doesn't heal
And
on its own.
maybe depending on how long you looked at it, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, and you're going to be blind. I mean, they
Well,
gave
okay, then.
everybody enough warnings. Maybe that's why Maura let the kids out of school because
Maybe.
she was afraid. But wow.
So I thought that was funny. Google put out a little, not a press release, but say, hey, guess what? This is what we're seeing. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. A lot of people just typing in, why do my eyes hurt?
Oh my God.
Kind of thing. So, well, they told you not to look at the eclipse, and you looked at it anyway, and that's why they hurt.
That's why they hurt.
So,
It burned your retina.
can I? Will the Visine help?
I don't think so. It's not gonna. No.
maybe for a second, a little, but then it's gonna come right back. Yeah.
They weren't thinking.
Not thinking. I forgot my glasses. I still want to see it. I'll take a quick look.
Well, look
I
at
won't
it
be
in
too
TV.
bad.
But you could take a quick peek for
You
a
could
second or
glance
two.
at it.
Yeah.
But 15 seconds from what?
Yeah,
from what
is
I
too
heard
much.
was
Well,
like there was damage done
That's
by then.
damage.
When I was outside yesterday between 3 and 3:30, so I did glance at the up at the sun just to see if I could see a black sphere coming towards it, but I couldn't.
No.
I'm like, oh, well, all right.
Yeah.
So I just, quickly looked away. So by the way, my eyes do not hurt.
Well, that's a good
I
thing.
didn't stare at it
Yeah,
yesterday
see,
like a fool. So
But that's the other interesting part. Like everybody had their glasses on, and as soon as it was totally covered, they all could take them off.
Yeah.
Then
You
you
could?
when
Yeah.
it was
Oh, okay.
when it was totality.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
Then you
were
could take them off. But when
but
you
then you had to put it back on when
then
it
you
started
had
to
to
move.
see when it was
Oh.
coming back. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
As soon as the diamond ring or
The
whatever
diamond
they
ring,
called
did
it,
you
you
see-
had to put them
Could you see the diamond ring from NASA?
Oh yeah.
It was
Yeah.
so. Looked like a diamond ring.
Wow.
It
Well, that's
looked
impressive.
like a diamond ring. Yeah.
So basically, Mother Nature at its
Wow.
best.
Yeah.
Putting on
there's
a great
higher
show.
Power out there, someone
Yes,
making all this happen. Wow. Huh?
NASA showed shots from the space shuttle.
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
yes. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And not space
Yeah.
shuttle, the International Space
Space
Station.
Station.
Spaceship. Yeah.
Yeah.
That must have
And
been
they also
something.
had a pilot tracking
Yes.
the thing.
Yeah.
I forget what kind of plane it was, but it was a very fast plane.
Yeah.
And he says, I'll only be able to track it for about 6 minutes because it's moving at 19,000
that fast,
miles per
okay.
hour or
Yeah,
something. And
yeah.
I can't go that fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he'd burn up a lot of fuel if it went really that fast.
I think it was an awesome day. It was an awesome
Yeah.
day. It was.
All right.
And they even made the T-shirts.
What do they say?
Well, some.
I survived the eclipse.
Yeah, I survived the eclipse or something like that.
2024.
Yeah. Yeah.
My eyes hurt.
My eyes
Hurt? Oh, I
They'll sell a lot of those today.
really. So we can't fix stupid.
No, you can't. You really can't.
Oh my God, it's not like, I think at one point I was getting a little weary of hearing them say this over and over
Wear the
and
glasses.
over and over and
Yeah.
over again.
Doesn't matter. You could say
And,
it.
and make sure you don't make sure they're real.
get the right ones. Yeah.
Get the right ones. You make
But you can say it as many times as you want. There's still going to be those people. Some people
but not me.
that don't. That'll
That
say,
won't happen
nah,
to me.
yeah, it
I'm
won't.
special.
They're like the people that that go to the beach.
Yeah.
And you're not going to put on any sunscreen.
No.
No, I'm going to lay out for 8 hours and everything's going to be
right,
fine.
Yeah, everything's going to be fine. Yeah.
And they wonder why they're burnt
Yeah. Surprise.
at
Yeah.
at 3 in the afternoon. Hey, what
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
No, it's true.
All right. Other things that went on yesterday. Of course.
And it wasn't the end of the world.
And it wasn't the end of the world. So you had to go to work today and
Yeah.
then like that. And school. UConn wins the men's basketball championship yesterday. So congratulations to them as they beat Purdue 75-60 in a game where they really weren't going to lose the game. They were in control for most of the game. And they really dominated all the teams they played in
They
the
did.
tournament this year. It was
did.
really, really something to see. Congratulations to Coach Stan Hurley and the UConn Huskies 2 years in a row that they won the national championship, and we can be proud that they're from New England. So we're very happy for the men's basketball team winning the championship.
One of the players for UConn is from Southborough, Massachusetts.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That's where
Kind of nearby.
That's where my kids went to school.
It's always fun when your team wins
Grandkids.
the national championship. And I've been at the Civic Center in Providence for hockey, a national championship, when my team lost.
Yeah.
And it's heartbreaking. It is soul crushing.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you lose, and at that time it was Michigan versus Boston College, and it went into overtime, and the Michigan came down, and the guy with the puck just faked the goalie out completely, and the goalie was like, he slid to one side, and the guy from Michigan had the open net, and went, uh-oh, and he put it in the net, and that was it. Michigan won, and it's like, oh, that's crushing. But a few years later, I was at the Garden in Boston, and it was Providence College versus Boston University, and I was sitting me and my brother was sitting in the section with all the BU fans, and the next section over was the BU band. I'm like, oh boy, and so we were sat there nice and quiet until PC scored first, and we're the only two, and a lot of people looked at it.
Yeah, it's dirty looks.
But they were, and Providence won in the waning seconds to win 2-1, and the BU fans were quite dejected, but we felt great, and so it's quite the feeling when your team wins the national championship. So So congratulations to UConn. So and good for them. All right, more coffee ants coming up, but we're gonna swing things back over to Ed Carew and for another message from the Carew Investment Group.
Okay, thanks again, Joe. Good morning again, everyone. Ed Carew here of the Carew Investment Group. Are you retired or retiring soon? Well, that's great. Congratulations. You may be retiring, but your money can't afford to retire. I'm Ed Carew of the Carew Investment Group at 68 Cumberland Street in Woonsocket. At the Carew Investment Group, we offer personal investment management of client money, especially from the proceeds of their 401k distribution after they leave the workforce. So to find out more about our services and for professional management of your investments, you can call me, Ed Carew, or you can call my son Paul Carew at 765-8880. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Thanks, Ed. And the Coffee Ant program will continue. Comments and questions can be called in at 766-1240.
Hi, I'm Kathy LaValle at The Honey Shop. Check out our Facebook page at The Honey Shop RI, and there you'll see a whole list of our new classes and lots of fun things to do. You could join us for making limoncello, pizzas, pasta making, cheese making, so many fun things to do and learn.
Thanks, Kathy. Folks, if you love food, you'll love the Honey Shop, right behind the Dunkin' Donuts at Park Square in Woonsocket.
The Coffee Ant panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
WOON Woonsocket Radio, ON, AM, and FM.
If I own the stock
They're doing good.
and it's doing well, first of all, I wouldn't own it if it wasn't doing
Yeah.
well.
Then the
But-
people running it.
Yeah, right.
Must
So
be
the
doing something
people are
right.
running it. Why would I want that board of directors to be thrown out to put
Right.
someone else in?
What do you see? I don't know if you're following this, but there seems to be some kind of disagreement with Disney.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
They're having a fight about who wants to be CEO or who on the board.
No, but
Some people wanna keep Bob
Nelson
Iger, but-
Peltz
Yeah.
runs a company called Trian, TRIAN,
Okay.
and he's a big time investor.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that he does, he's a smart man, is that when he finds a company that is not doing as well as it should be, like their stock price is down or the company's,
Mhm.
a little bit messed up,
Mhm.
he tries to get himself and other people on the board of directors to try to straighten the company out.
Okay.
All right. So that was the thing there. Well, he could vote it down, but he still got 31% of the vote.
Think he'll try again?
Well, that's going to for another year for that.
Well, I know, but
Maybe depends.
okay.
Depends on how Disney
stock goes.
stock and stuff does next year.
does he do this as a way to take over?
I don't know that he has ever taken over any companies.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, when he takes a position in a company and then tries to get on the board of directors, the stock moves up because he's trying to get on the board of directors and he makes a ton of money.
All right. Well, maybe they should have gone with him
Why?
to have the stock go up.
The stock has gone up.
Oh, well, okay.
It may not stay there, but
Right,
it has
right.
gone up since he
he
declared that
tried.
he wanted to run. Yeah.
Okay. All right, then. Red Sox home opener is today
Yes, it is.
at Fenway Park. They're going to do the big celebration of the 2004 World Series winning team. So, as I say, if you get tickets to today's game, which is supposed to start at 2:10, well, that pregame ceremony is probably going to start around 1. You want to get there early to watch that. So, the big names will be there. Ortiz and Manny Ramirez and Terry Francona and Veritek's already a coach on the team, so
Yeah.
he's already going to be there. And Trot Nixon and guys like that, and Keith Folk is going to be there. So it'll be a big to do at Fenway Park today. And how about them Sox? 7-3.
They're doing all right, huh? They're doing quite
a lot better than I thought right out of the gate.
Yeah.
So I feel good about them right now. So, and they just gave a contract extension to their rookie Rafaela.
Raphael.
Their center fielder, Cedon Rafael. They gave him like a 9 or 8 year contract extension. I'm like, wow,
8 years.
8 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pavetta's been doing well.
All the pitching has been doing
the
well.
pitching,
So
yeah.
I'm like, okay. maybe
Maybe.
things are not as dim as everyone said they're
I
going to be
know, I know.
this year. Of course, it is early, and I get it.
Yeah.
It's early, and Trevor Story has already hurt himself.
Yes, he did.
He got Chris
Yes.
Sale disease.
He dislocated his shoulder. Did you see that? And did you see?
Yeah, I did see it, and I think
yeah.
I think he's in pain. So now they're supposed to come back. Well, it was supposed to yesterday. They're going to have meet up with the doctors to see he might have to have surgery on his dislocated shoulder
Oh,
to help
must-
fix it. I'm
Oh,
like,
probably
wow,
ripped-
okay.
Probably ripped the rotator cuff.
No,
That's
that'll.
probably what. Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you next year.
Yeah.
No
I was gonna
word yet
say,
on that.
Yeah, I heard something
Chris,
about they thought he'd be out for about 10 days.
10
But
days.
if
Well,
he's
they did
gonna
put him
have
on the
any kind
10-day
of
deal.
surgery, I think 10 days is.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, forget
Yeah.
that. We were just kidding about the
And
10
it was
days.
his- Left arm. Yeah, it would-
Yeah, with his glove.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
So
Is he right-handed? What does he throw?
he's right-handed. Throws with his
Right-handed.
right, gloves on his
Yeah.
left. So, okay, that's just that's the way it goes in baseball.
Yeah.
People get injured, and did well for the player they called up from Worcester. Called
Yeah,
him up,
Hamilton.
and
Yeah.
David
Yeah.
Hamlin came up,
Yeah.
and his first at bat hit a home run.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And that Tyler O'Neill, he's doing nicely. Yeah.
so yeah, you
Home
can't you,
runs,
you
yeah.
can't you can't fault them for anything right
No.
now.
Yeah.
They're beating the teams they need to beat. Seattle they're stumbling out of the block right now, so we beat them, and then the A's are just, oh my God, are they
Yeah.
bad?
Was it 12-2?
Yeah, oof.
12-2.
And the Angels are good, and they did well against them. So
Yeah.
now the Orioles, that's another challenge.
Yeah.
The Orioles are doing well right off the bat, so we'll see how things go today at Fenway for their home opener. I think
Well,
this
we've
is
got good
the
weather for it for sure.
it's sometimes the home opener is 39 degrees and cloudy
no,
with
this is
rain.
it's going to be
Today's
a
a
good
great day.
Maybe it was good that they
Gonna be
started
about
out
over
there where it
60.
was
It's going to be in the
yeah,
60s, at
60s.
least when the game starts.
Yeah.
It'll be that
And they're
temperature.
going to be honoring Tim Wakefield
And his wife. Yep,
Yeah.
and so that's good. I think the Sox are the last team to have their home opener.
Really?
All the other teams have already had their
Yeah.
home openers. This is the
Yeah.
Sox are the last one.
Well, it was
to
good.
do
They
it.
were out there where it was warmer. Although I saw them with a lot of jackets on, though.
Well, they said it. Yeah, in Anaheim it was like 60.
Yeah, but that's warm compared to what.
Well, it's warm for us, cool for
Warm
them.
for us,
out
cool
there,
for them,
out there in
right, yeah.
California. Like,
Yeah.
all right, so go Sox for their home opener today
Yeah.
up there
Good
in up in Boston. All right, other things going on. 40 dogs were removed from a house in Pawtucket. They don't say what kind of dogs they are. Are they German Shepherds? Or are we talking like little Shih Tzus? Or are we talking about everything in between? It just doesn't say. They don't go into too much detail other than 40 dogs removed, deplorable conditions at a home in Pawtucket. The dogs were all matted, dirty, and in poor condition. So that's the extent of it that we've been told. So they've all been brought to the Pawtucket Animal Shelter. They'll all be cleaned up and then evaluated by a vet, and then they will decide where they will go, if they can be adopted or what, or if any are in worse shape. We'll find that out later. Now, the owner of the dogs refused to surrender the animals. They just went
really?
in. Yeah, they just went in and took them. So it's like, so there's a battle going on
I think
here.
they said the house was condemned too. They
okay.
condemned the house.
I don't
Yeah.
have that information, but
Yeah,
okay.
It was on the news this
Was it?
morning. I
Okay.
believe they said they.
But no charges against the two residents of the house. Maybe they're not the owners of the dogs, so I don't know. They just got police and the Rhode Island Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals just got received a tip. Something's going on at this house on Senate Street in Pawtucket, and they went and looked at it and said, okay, we gotta remove all the animals. 40 dogs. That's a lot, especially in Pawtucket. You're not out on Ed's acreage of land.
Yeah, right.
where they can run free and like that. They're all, cramped in a home, and
It's
40 is a lot.
it's probably against the law to have that many dogs, anyways. Because most towns, like if you have more than 2 or 3 dogs,
what's the deal
You
in
ne-
North Smithfield?
if you have more than 2 or 3 dogs, you need a kennel license.
You do, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I wonder what
And one time we had 3 dogs, but anything over
over that.
you need a kennel license.
How much
yeah.
for a kennel license?
I don't know because
Yeah.
I didn't need one.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure.
All right.
But that and that's because of, people breeding their breeding dogs. They need a kennel, but 40 dogs, I'm sure that's not allowed. I'm sure there must be an ordinance somewhere that says, no, you can't do that.
And what about Middleborough? Do you need a special license to have a horse?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
Yeah,
Okay.
we have a stable license.
Stable license, okay. And that allows you to have how many horses?
As many as the property will hold. Usually, we've had as many as I can remember having 5 or 6 at one time. But I know one time Jane told me she had as many as 10.
Okay. And that one license covers all that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It goes by the acreage of land that you have.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure when you have a license, like when you license a dog in North Smithville or most places, you need to show their rabies certificate.
Okay.
So there must be some things that you have to do to have a license, for a stable license, like,
Well, yeah. I mean, they have to have rabies and
all
distemper and triple E, and I mean, there's
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of
what I mean. So, yeah.
there's a lot of different shots
Yeah.
they have to get
Yeah.
every year. Yeah.
So that,
And then the animal inspector comes once a year
once a
to
year.
inspect the
The
barn.
barn, I was saying. See, and that protects the animals.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That's a protection for the animals.
yeah,
Even,
yeah.
even licensing a dog protects the animals too, because I mean it's $6, so nobody's making a lot of money on a dog license. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's protecting the animals.
Yeah, if they come over and see a horse that's like undernourished,
Yeah.
appears
Right.
to be undernourished, they'll take it away.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll end up at Nevins Farm, the MSPCA at Nevins Farm in
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
Where's that located?
I don't know.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know which
Yeah.
which town it's.
Just wondering.
Yeah.
But I'm sure no ordinance said it's okay to have 40 dogs.
I don't think so. and I wonder about the Pawtucket Animal Shelter. Can they house 40 dogs?
They're going to have a hard time, so they're going to have to quickly get them cleaned up,
And-
checked by the
and
vet, and probably foster them out
move 'em out
until they
somewhere.
can,
Can other towns and their animal shelters?
exactly.
take-
Well, and
take
that, you
some?
know what? The animal shelters do that, though.
Yeah.
They support each other. They help each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do. Yeah.
All right. Well, they pulled a body out of a river, out of the Warren River in Warren, Rhode Island. White man in his 50s. And they haven't said the identity, and they haven't said the cause of death just yet. But I know they were looking for someone yesterday that they said went into the river, and they found this person yesterday around 1:15 in the afternoon. No word yet.
What river?
Warren River in Warren, Rhode Island. They found
Wasn't
that.
there another one, though? In the
I think there's another
Pawcatuck?
one.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
that they
Yeah.
haven't found yet. That's why
Yeah.
they had to call it off because they ran out of daylight
Yeah.
yesterday, and so they were going back. They were going back yesterday, and I guess they didn't find that one and just yet. So, all right. And the city of Woonsocket has hired former Cranston Mayor Alan Fung to assist with the city's finances.
Saw that, yeah.
Yeah. So the city has been, and we'll ask John Ward about this tomorrow. The city's just been routinely late in filing an annual audit of its budget, and the audit for the past fiscal year still has not been completed. So, and now Fung comes in, and he says that there's just a real lack of financial staff because we had the whole shakeup with the firing of the finance director and like that. So there's a lack of staff, and maybe that's it. That's why they can't get the audit done. And they said that need to fill the financial staff has to be filled. But you can't just hire any schmo off the street
No.
to do this job.
No,
We
no.
need
yeah,
you need people that know what they're doing.
exactly.
Speaking of hiring schmoes off the street, RIPTA wants to hire if they don't hire 30 or 40 new drivers, they're gonna have to start cutting service. And you just can't hire anybody to drive a bus.
No.
It takes practice, and you got and a special license.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it's a CDL
Yeah.
license, isn't it?
Right.
Kind of like for the truck drivers. The same thing for the bus drivers. It's not like driving it's not like driving Ed's
No, and-
Genesis.
I don't think they make a lot of money either, do they?
That's getting better.
Is it?
And that's
Yeah.
how they're enticing
Yeah.
people to come out
Yeah.
and apply for these jobs.
It's a responsibility, and I'm sure, not I'm sure, I know that they do the drug screening and, and all those kinds of things.
yeah.
So they have to
Pass that.
pass
and,
that, and not only the driving itself, but the,
Yep. And pass the, I'm sure you got to pass a driving test. You know?
yeah, that's a special license.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
so-
actually go out on the road
Yeah,
to drive
right,
to make
yeah.
sure so you don't take the corners too sharp
Yeah,
or too shallow. You got to do it right. And how to put the bike on that front thing and lock it up so you don't lose it
yeah.
going down the road. That's an important job. So
Mm-hmm.
so they're looking for help. So hey, if you ever wanted to drive a bus,
I'll pass.
you don't want to do that. Don't want to do that either. No.
No, it's never been on my bucket list to drive one.
Speaking of, I saw it over the weekend. I don't know if you saw it, Ed, but the T wants to put in, not soon, but relatively soon, by the year 2030, they want to put in like a Skyliner. Did you see this over the weekend?
No.
All right. You know what you ever see the Skyliner that's at Disney World? Or at least pictures of it or what it looks like? No? Okay. It looks like a gondola going up a ski lift.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, you picture that.
Yeah.
It can fit the one at Disney can fit about 8 people in one car. But instead of going, up the mountain, it's going to go across the water, like across the harbor.
Okay.
And that's an idea that the T wants to do. I don't know, help out with ferry service or whatever. But the first thing that came to mind was, how in the T is always screaming for money. How in the world are you going to pay for this? Except coming out of not
I was
Linda's,
gonna
coming
say,
out of your and my pocket,
Yeah,
Ed.
that's a taxpayer.
How much are we?
dollars, right?
How much are we going to shell out for this? And we're not even going to use it. Well, we might, for laughs one time, but will the public use it up in Boston? So I'm like,
Interesting.
So look that up, Ed.
Look that up. Huh?
Well, if you want to, Skyliner for the MBTA. That's one of their new projects that they want to do. So
Skyliner on the water.
over the water, yes. I think that's where they want to put it. That would make sense.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to take a break down the Coffee and program. More is coming your way. Comments and questions can be called in 766-1240. This weather forecast is being brought to you by somebody here. Hang on. Not prepared. All right. Compassion International. Today, sunny with a high temperature near 65 with a light wind northeast 5 to 7 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low temperature around 40 with an east wind 3 to 6 miles per hour. Wednesday's weather, cloudy with scattered showers, mainly after 1 p.m. High temperature will be near 54. New precipitation amounts of less than 1/10 of an inch is possible. Wednesday night, cloudy with scattered showers. Low temperature around 45. Thursday, cloudy with a 40% chance of rain, high near 56. Friday, breezy, cloudy, and rain, mainly before 2 p.m. with a high near 61. Currently outside the Navigate Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street. Sunny skies and 53 degrees. Thousands of kids in poverty have waited over a year for a sponsor. End their wait today. Become a Compassion International sponsor. Text RADIO to 83393.
You know, when you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And when it comes to your insurance, there's no one better at getting the right price for your protection than Allstate agents Kara and Celeste Benjamin, because they know when it comes to your bank account, every penny counts towards something bigger, something better. Like a nicer car, that home update you've been dreaming of, or a phone that's fresh out of the box. Those little or big things that we work so hard for. And Kara and Celeste Benjamin want to help you work a little less by getting you the coverage you need and the savings you deserve when you switch to Allstate. Contact Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. 765-5000 for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. And you're in good hands with Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate.
One of our gold medal winners in the best of the Blackstone Valley is Marshan Environmental of Blackstone. They won gold in the category of septic service. They also won silver in the junk removal dumpsters category. For information, visit marshanenvironmental.com, one of the best of the Blackstone Valley.
Lou Mandeville here to tell you the only place to get your local high school and college scores, as well as the Pats, Bruins, Celtics, and Sox is on my morning sports reports. And they are right here on ON 1240, Monday through Friday on the Morning Fun Show.
It's Coffee In here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Linda Tebow and Ed Carew, and I was just showing the panel the artist rendering of what these gondolas. They're not calling it a Skyliner. Maybe that's trademarked, so you can't call it that. So yeah, they announced it a couple of days, maybe last week. The T announced that a gondola system is coming to Boston by the year 2030. All right, the T is thrilled to unveil an innovative addition to Boston's public transit landscape, a cutting-edge gondola system set to revolutionize travel across the city by the year 2030. In an unprecedented move to enhance urban mobility, this aerial transportation network will offer a seamless and scenic alternative to traditional underground transit routes. All right. The grand unveiling of the gondola system project. So, make plans to go, Ed. Sunday, April 14th at 12 noon at the Esplanade in Boston. The event will feature special remarks by Governor Healy and provide exclusive previews of the gondola designs, including prototypes that attendees can explore firsthand. And hang on. All right, oops.
Do they know they live in New England?
No.
We have weather.
When I get to the end of the story, it's a joke.
It's a joke.
It's a joke. Yep, they're kidding around.
Oh.
This is not happening.
Oh, okay.
So I guess,
Never mind.
is this an April Fool's
It was
thing?
an April Fool's thing, and I got suckered in. All right.
I knew it made no sense.
All right.
No, it's
just made
no
we're in
sense.
New England.
Especially when he said, you can take this thing. It's a scenic thing. I was just gonna say, what you're gonna go to this spot? I want to go to Aruba. A family of four is gonna go to Aruba, and they got like 20 pieces of luggage. We're gonna put all this crap in the gondola, and we're gonna end up in a bay.
See, that's why you got to read these things. You just can't go by headlines, and that's all I saw over the weekend was a headline of this. I said, "Oh, okay," and I brushed past it, thinking it's real. And
You got to do
turns
that
out
before
it's
you
not.
get on the air.
I really should do that. I think I do a lot better at my homework. Yeah. So
Lucky for
whoops.
you, Dave's not around.
Boy, is my face red. Okay. Anyway.
And
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Yes,
Meanwhile.
it is.
So anyway, back to reality now.
Okay.
U.S. Senator from Massachusetts, Elizabeth Warren, believes it will be found by the international community that Israel has committed genocide in Gaza. At least that's what she thinks. Warren made the comments last week during a visit to the Islamic Center of Boston, a mosque located that's in Wayland, Massachusetts. Warren said that she was providing her legal analyst. Is she a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. And not expressing her personal view on the issue. But she does say that it's wrong to starve children and to drop 2,000-pound bombs in densely populated areas. Okay. Well, it's war. So I don't know if you could call it. Can you call it genocide when it's war? Are people dying and being killed? Yes, they are. But I don't know. Will Israel be held accountable for what they've done? What about what about Hamas has done?
I'm not a lawyer
Not like Liz.
like her,
Yeah. So all right.
and I don't play one on TV or radio.
Well, you should, Ed.
I should not.
You do a good job at it. So, you do know that someone's running against her, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He formed a committee anyway.
He came out the next day,
Oh, he did?
and he said once they form a committee, you think it's basically a done deal.
Yeah.
The president of the Quincy city council says yes, he's definitely running against her. Okay. And can I remember his name? No.
What's he running as? Independent or
He's a Republican.
he's a Republican?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's a Republican.
He's got a long road
Which
ahead of
is a
him.
long
Yeah,
climb up.
he's
Yep,
got a
I get it.
long,
So,
long road.
so we had the story about the 40 dogs in Pawtucket, but up in Air, Massachusetts, an elderly Air woman, and I saw this on the news yesterday. They just had a helicopter view of her land, charged with 30 counts of animal cruelty, after dozens of animals were seized from her property. They had dead goats and dead chickens
Oh, my
and
God.
things like that in her area. 162 animals were seized. At least it wasn't a house. They did
Yeah,
have
right,
land
yeah.
to move around. But 162 animals were seized from the property of a 77-year-old woman. Her name is Ruth Maxent Schultz. This took place in February. Police were sent there for a well-being check. Officers said they found multiple dead goats and others that were in poor condition. They seized around 50 goats from the property, along with 91 chickens, 20 ducks and geese, and 2 ponies. And yeah, I guess when you're 77, you just don't have the wherewithal or the strength to, if your animal dies, to bury them. They just we'll just leave it there.
That's why they have stable licenses.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
And maybe she does. Does having your stable license allow you to have other animals, or just like horses and maybe cows?
You can have goats.
You can.
Yeah.
It's all under one umbrella.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe she did have it, but yeah. And who says that the ducks are her pets? Ducks fly in all the time. You know.
Yeah, but she probably has domestic dogs.
Are there such a thing?
Yeah.
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 Okay. I don't know. I
Yeah,
always see
they-
wild ducks.
Yeah, no, they have domestic dogs.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
I know the chickens are probably hers, and the same thing with the geese.
Yeah.
They kind of fly in and out
Yeah.
when they like.
I saw that on the news this morning.
Yeah.
That story. They showed her in court, and at first she didn't want to give up the animals, and they were going to fine her $100,000
If she didn't,
if she
Whoa.
didn't.
okay.
And
Now,
she said, at my
change my mind?
age and my, my financial
Financial?
situation, I can't do that. So I
Release them.
Release them to you. Yeah, right.
Money talks sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to keep them, it's $100,000. Okay. There
Don't want to
you
keep them
go.
that badly.
No.
They were fun to have, but not anymore. So, all
They're
right.
a responsibility to have. You have to feed them. You have to make sure the vets check them out, that they're
I don't-
healthy.
I don't think that's happening. If
No.
you've got 50 dead goats on your
Well, no, that's what I
property,
mean.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's the
probably
thing. You can't even afford to feed them.
feed them. That's what I mean.
You get that many animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's expensive to feed.
I mean, even the one that you were talking about in Rhode Island with 40 dogs.
How do you afford to feed them?
Yeah.
Dog food's very expensive. Yeah.
Yep. And so I don't know. And you just spread the food out on the floor, or do you have 40 separate bowls for all the different dogs? And what about water?
Yeah.
And,
I mean,
and letting them outside. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been one of those. I was always a one animal person myself. One cat at a time.
Yeah.
We had one bird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Couldn't have a cat with a bird. That might not go so well. But it was always only one animal at a
Yeah.
time. And I know some people say, well, you got to have two, mostly with dogs and cats, so they have someone to pal around with. So there's that
Not really.
thinking. But all right, so they blew up something in Salem, Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah.
At the Satanic
Satanic
Temple. I'm like, what's going on there? So, an explosive device was detonated on the porch of the Satanic Temple in Salem, Mass. Police say the device exploded on the porch of the Bridge Street building after 4 a.m. 4 in the morning yesterday. The damage was not discovered until around 12 hours later yesterday afternoon, as the building was unoccupied. The state police bomb squad was called in to make sure there were no other devices inside the building. So someone just left it there, and it just kind of either electronically or by your phone or by itself just boom.
Interesting.
Well, I find the city of Salem fascinating, just because of its history.
Yeah.
And being up there, you know that the Satanic temples, or at least one, is there. But you just say, well, okay, they kind of keep to themselves, I guess. And but this will draw a lot of attention to them now if you're having bombs explode on your property, especially at 4 a.m. Really wakes the neighbors.
It surely does.
And,
It surely does.
It doesn't say it, but I just wonder how close it is to the university that's there. One of the schools my daughter was looking at going to. Doesn't say. I mean, I could look it up. Where is Bridge Street in relation to the
Yeah.
college?
He's looking for a conspiracy.
No, between the school and the Satanic Temple? No, not this time. But it's like, oh, okay, that's.
Well, people have been, attacking a lot of houses of worship, temples and synagogues, and
Yeah.
they have been. And
I guess it could have been not someone associated with the temple, someone outside that didn't like them, thinking they're bad, and say, well,
Well,
we'll take care of them.
yeah.
But you can't be a vigilante like this.
Well, but I mean, is it any different than? I mean, that's their belief, but is it any different than a mosque or a,
No,
a
it's not.
synagogue or a Baptist
Yeah,
church or a?
it's not, and it's
It
just
isn't,
if it's let's if it's someone from outside the temple, if they deem okay, this person put the bomb on there
Yeah.
to cause damage, now it's a hate crime,
It is.
and they'll be charged with that, even though it's a
Well,
satanic temple. That doesn't
that's
matter.
the point. Yeah, it is. It's
So okay, so that's what took place in Salem. We'll hear more about that in case the police come up with a suspect in that case right there. All right, break time once again here in the Coffee and program, and more coming your way. So please stick around.
When you visit the Menard Locature Funeral Homes website, you'll find a wealth of important information, including frequently asked questions about the various options of pre-planning funeral etiquette, visitation, personal help to help the family, and many others. Remember, pre-planning is safe and helpful to family members who may be overwhelmed with details and responsibilities. It also assures that the deceased's final wishes are met. Their website will also feature several photos of their 2 beautiful and classic funeral homes at 127 Carrington Avenue, Woonsocket, and 71 Central Street, Manville. You'll be treated with courtesy and understanding. Their main phone number is 762-1825. Menard Locature Funeral Homes.
Hello, my name is Paul LaValle. I'm a Knight of Columbus with the Council 113 in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. We are sponsoring a scholarship fund for the Greater Woonsocket Catholic Regional School System. There are only 100 tickets being sold. They are $50 each. The first prize is $1,500. The second prize is $500. The third prize is $300. You can purchase them from any Knight of Columbus, including myself. My phone number is 401-651-5533. Plus at WOON, Woonsocket Radio Station, 985 Park Avenue. Or the administrative office at 1200 Menden Road, Good Shepherd School. Thank you.
All right, it is Coffee In here on ON, AM, and FM. Joe Callahan here with Ed Crew and Linda Tebow. Just looking at we talked about this a little earlier, Linda, but the Google trend. Yeah, Google Trends show searches for why do my eyes hurt, or just simply eyes hurt, spiked during the total solar eclipse. The term saw a jump in the number of searches around 2 p.m. Eastern, which is about the time the eclipse started to be seen in the U.S. Searches peaked at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Other popular searches in the U.S. on Monday included, can I look at the sun and solar eclipse, no glasses?
well, no.
That's
I
what
told
people
you
are
you
doing.
can't.
Those who wanted to view the eclipse were advised to use a special pair of glasses to avoid eye damage. So I wish it doesn't have it. I wish it said how many. Right? How many were put in? Is this in the thousands, in the millions? I don't know. So
Well, probably lots, because what they say, how many millions of people
we're what? Yeah.
were watching? Lots.
But on the good side of it, more than 100 couples gathered in Russellville, Arkansas, for a mass marriage ceremony
Yeah.
during the solar eclipse.
Yes. I saw that.
Some of the couples were there to tie the knot. Others were just there to renew their vows. People came from other states to participate in the ceremony, which was officiated by Craig Wayne Boyd, a former winner of The Voice. I don't know this person, so people like being part of a spectacle. So
Yeah.
so 100 couples. Well, that's
Well,
nice.
they'll remember their anniversary.
Yes, they will. Captain Kirk, William Shatner,
Yeah.
he came out and said Monday's solar eclipse captivated Americans across the nation. William Shatner said that people who experienced such an event before there was a scientific explanation must have been dumbstruck. We talked about that earlier,
Yeah,
Native
it's true.
Americans and then like
Yeah.
that. He went on to explain the cosmic scale of the eclipse and why he was so excited to watch it unfold. Shatner viewed the eclipse with thousands of others at Indiana University. I saw that on the news yesterday. People flocked to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway
Yes.
to be on the infield to watch it there because they could fit so many people were there and then like that. And the other one I saw was the Worcester Red Sox were playing the Syracuse Mets yesterday. The game was at 5 in the afternoon, but they invited fans. Well, you had to have a ticket. They didn't really invite fans to come to the stadium at 2 to view the eclipse at the stadium and then watch the game. So buy a ticket to the game, you get to come early
Yeah.
and watch the eclipse as well as buy hot dogs and beer and other amenities. And they did. They had 4,000 tickets sold
Wow.
just to come watch the eclipse, and then they were going to watch the game after that.
The game was an afterthought.
There's a baseball game.
Yeah.
So the governor of Connecticut, he won his bet against the governor of Indiana because UConn beat Purdue. So the governor of Indiana will now send to the governor of Connecticut triple X root beer, sugar cream pie, and a pork tenderloin from Harry's Chocolate Shop.
Okay.
And why Harry's Chocolate Shop is selling pork tenderloin
Yeah. Kind of
Doesn't-
doesn't fit.
doesn't make sense.
Chocolate coated.
Chocolate covered pork. Huh? The governor of Texas, he was ready to send stuff to Indiana, pizza, beer from the Atlantic Brewing Company, and Munson's chocolates, but the other stuff is coming to Connecticut. So congratulations. And we did talk about the women's basketball and how well South Carolina did. So Sunday's NCAA Women's Basketball Championship game is another record breaker. It became the most watched basketball game, men's or women's,
Yes.
college or pro, since
Yeah.
2019. Wow.
That's something.
Good for them. The final that saw Dawn Staley's undefeated South Carolina defeat Iowa, and their superstar Caitlin Clark drew 18.7 million viewers. Did you watch any of it?
No.
Linda?
No, I
Okay.
did not. No.
Ed, did you see any of it?
No, I haven't.
Okay. And marked the third time in a week that a game featuring Clark and the Hawkeyes broke viewership records. Their Elite Eight game against Louisiana State had 12.3 million viewers, and their Final Four game against Connecticut racked up 14.2 million viewers, 18 million for the championship game.
Yeah. I think that clock brought a lot of attention to women's basketball.
Certainly has,
That's
and
and that's why I think that so many viewers,
a lot of young girls, I bet, were
Yeah.
watching it, and watch next season
Yeah.
when basketball season rolls around. You're going to see an upsurge
Yeah.
in especially girls and
Girls,
girls
yeah.
playing basketball.
Yeah.
And speaking of basketball, it is it's happened again where adults are getting out of hand at basketball tournaments.
Yes.
And it happened down in Tiverton over the weekend. And now they've arrested a man, one of the coaches, for assaulting a 15-year-old.
A player, yes.
I don't know if it was on the same team or the opposite team. Not that it matters.
No.
But if you're the adult, you can't be hitting the kids.
Yeah. No.
And I get it. I've played not competitive basketball. I've played competitive hockey, and things get very emotional out on the ice and out on the court. I get it. It happens. It gets emotional up in the stands. But boy, if you're the coach, you've really got to control yourself.
Yeah.
And I know you're mad that maybe that player is battling your player, and the refs aren't calling the fouls, and your guy's getting beat up. This is the only scenario I can think of that where this is going to take place. And so you get so angry that you go after the kid, and you can't do it.
No.
And if you do, yes, you're gonna be arrested.
Yeah.
And so when the cops showed up at this thing, first of all, the cops got a call that there was that someone had a gun at this, and it wasn't at a school. It was at a sports complex.
Yeah.
When they got there, they didn't find anyone with a gun. When they got there, they found there was a fight going on in the court, and it was with both teams. And once that happened, people start because basketball's so easy to pour out of the stands and be right on the court. Hockey's a little different. You can't really get onto the ice. You can if you really try, but it's difficult. And so they get there, break it up, and now you look at, because everyone gets out their phone. Let's see your video. Let's see your video. And so they arrested a guy.
They arrest them, yeah. And especially though the coaches, I think sometimes the last incidents we've talked about with parents
Yeah.
watching the game, but a coach, because I would think, and I'm not sure, I know in the world of figure skating, any of the coaches have to take this test in a program kind of thing, and it's called sports safety to be a coach
Really?
in figure skating, yeah. And it talks about, all of the things that, and the criminal background, it's really very strict. And I would hope, I don't know if that applies to youth sports, if the coaches, and I know they're volunteers. My husband was a coach in Little League and in hockey. And I know in those days they didn't, but the way things are today, with such a litigious world we live in, that I would hope or think that they maybe need to have, something
Well,
like
I was,
that amongst the coaches, because they're held to a higher
Yeah. Well, we're going to go back about
level.
15 years or so, and I coached Little League.
Okay.
And at that time, yes, they did do. I had to fill out the Corey form, and they did a background check on all the coaches.
Yeah.
But that other thing about good sportsmanship and taking a test and like that, no. There was none of that.
No. Well, I know because both my daughter and my granddaughter are coaches, and they have to take that in order to do what it is they do.
Yeah.
Which I
Okay.
think is really.
So I think it's a good idea, since this seems to keep popping up.
Yeah. But especially the coaches. I mean, your parents. Parents are. It's wrong when they do it too, but a coach is responsible for that team, those kids on that team, for their safety.
All right. Well, things have changed in 15 years.
Yeah.
I just got a note in, and it's from my brother, he says I have to take a test every year for softball.
Okay.
Softball coach. So
Okay,
yes,
good.
other sports
Yay,
have
thank
done
you.
this, and
Thank
okay.
you, thank you.
So that's softball, which probably includes baseball, because they're usually grouped in
Well,
together.
yeah,
But I don't know about basketball or
Yeah.
or football or hockey.
Well,
Do
I would
they?
hope I would hope it's youth hockey, it's youth basketball, it's youth, all of the,
You would think so.
Any adult that's in charge of kids should,
You can't be.
should
You
be
can't be
checked.
assaulting the kids.
No, no.
Unless it's to the point where they say, well, the melee's going on, and you grab the
Well,
shirt of a
it
kid,
almost
and
sound-
you're pulling kids off
Yeah.
of each other,
Yeah.
and someone says, "Oh, you hurt me,"
Yeah.
so okay,
Well,
we got you because you
and-
did touch a kid.
And you laid hands on that kid.
Yeah.
But it was probably trying to break
I hope
up.
it's just that,
Yeah,
and
'cause
not
the
and not
refs do that.
punch him in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, the refs break it up that way too. So, all right. So, in case you were wondering what you can, I got these Eclipse glasses. Well, now what do I do with them?
Yeah.
You can donate them. The group Astronomers Without Borders is accepting donated glasses to send to Africa, Asia, and North and South America for future eclipse events. They can be donated at any Warby Parker store. I've seen those ads for Warby Parker, but I don't know whether there are any stores around here. The organization called Eclipse Glasses USA is accepting glasses to send to students in Latin America for the October annular eclipse. The glasses can also be saved for the next event, which is coming in 20 years. So just put them in a drawer. They'll be fine.
Time capsule.
Put them in a time capsule. They,
See them? They made a cardboard.
no, they should last. All right. This is started to take over the last few years, and it's called prom proposals.
Yes.
You got to do a big elaborate thing, Ed.
Yeah.
You just
Yes,
can't go up to the girl and
yeah,
say you want to
no,
go to the
no,
prom.
no,
No, you gotta
yeah.
you gotta do
Promposals. Yeah.
big videos and get dance numbers and things like that. So, the Empire State Building is charging teenagers to ask their date to the prom $250. Tack that on top of the suit, the tuxedo you got to rent. $250 a
And
couple.
The flowers and the limo.
A promposal ticket will enable students to use the huge prom letters on the 86th floor observatory for a photo op, along with complimentary sparkling cider to celebrate their yes. Once they have their special moment, they can make their way up to the 102nd floor observatory to take in the 360-degree views. The building says the event will go through May. But that'll ruin the surprise. If you ask your date, hey, would you like to go to the 86th floor of the Empire State Building with me? Well, now she knows what you're going to do,
Yeah,
or what he, in case the girl asks you, what you're gonna do.
Thing with the teenage girls, that the best promposal. You know, my guy did this, my guy did that.
How do we outdo the other,
You
huh?
don't do the other. Heard of this for the first time when my grandson Michael was going to his first prom.
Okay.
And I said, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about?" You know, somebody said, "You want to go to the prom with me?" Yeah. No,
Not that way anymore. I've seen
it's
it.
not that way. How
I
about your
s-
daughter? Did she have that?
She doesn't have a guy in her life, so
Oh,
she's just
okay.
going with a group of her girlfriends.
Oh, okay.
So
And see, they're doing that more now too.
yes, just go as a group. No more- no more dates.
You don't need a date to go to prom.
No, that's going by the wayside.
Yeah,
But you know what's going away?
whole new world out there. Linda.
You don't. When I was growing up, right after I graduated high school, it really exploded. You had to rent a limousine.
Yes.
That has stopped.
Really?
Yes. No, the kids don't do it anymore. No, we'll drive ourselves.
Hmm.
It's just not the thing to do anymore.
Okay.
And I don't know if the limousine companies are okay with this. They probably didn't enjoy taking the kids around, worry about who's
They made a
drinking and
lot
who's
of
not
money.
drinking.
They
but
made
they do.
a
But
lot of
but they
money.
made money. But
They made a
it's just not.
lot of money.
It is not the in vogue thing to
No.
do anymore.
Oh, okay.
They drive themselves.
Hmm.
And we'll end on that note. I got no conspiracy theories to go with after this. All right. So thank you very much for listening in to the Coffee and program. Always appreciated. Ed Crew, thanks for coming in.
Always a pleasure.
All right. And Linda Tebow, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
All right. My name's Joe Callahan. Have yourself a fantastic day. Get out and enjoy the nice weather today because the rains are coming over the next 3 days. Gary Smith and the crew with Do You Remember's coming up at 9:30 here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. On Smith Hill in Providence, there is a committee vote today on 3 bills that are part of House Speaker Joseph Sicarchi's housing package. They are related to the education and training of municipal planners, the establishment of combined review boards and manufactured homes. The House Municipal Government and Housing Committee will vote on other bills in the Speaker's package on Thursday. Rhode Island Governor Dan McKee is out of state this week. He left last Friday to attend the Democratic Governors Association meeting going on now in